Namo Namah Shrila Narottamaya. Ainanda Tanujakinkaram Paditama Vishami Bhavambudao Kripaya Tavapada Pankajasti Dadhuli Satrisham Vichintaya. Nayanam Galadash Rudharaya Vadanam Katkataruthaya Gira Pulakai Michitayur Vapukada Tavanama Grihani Pakshi. Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yat Kripatam Aham Vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Devi. Tathapi Kirtayami Anga Yadamatim Yadashrutam Kirtim Harim Swam Satkatum Kiram Anyabhitasatim Stitir Seva Katiriyatra Smatir Chinta Stutirvacha Bhuyat Sarvatmana Vishnu Maityam Tvaicheshtitam. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam. Dear devotees, it just feels like with the pranam mantra only you get to do the Dham Yatra, Vrindavan Yatra, Mayapur Yatra, Gambhira Puri Yatra. Okay, so yes, dear devotees, Chaitanya Pravaha. Yeah. So what did we hear so far in Sri Chaitanya Pravaha? About the importance of Gaurakatha, how it takes us closer to Krishna Katha, and then about the sources of Chaitanya Charita and how Chaitanya Charitamrita came to us. And after that, the Palastuti of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita as spoken by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. And then we entered into Chaitanya Pravaha, the Adi Lila, Madhya Lila, Antya Lila. In Adi Lila, in Mangalacharana, we heard about the 6 components of the Lord, Absolute Truth, and how he relishes within himself in 6 ways. How Bhakti is so all-inclusive. Vande Gurun, Isha Bhaktan, Ishan, Isha Avataram, Tat Prakasham Cha, Tat Shaktim, all of them. We heard in the Mangalacharana. And after that, about Sri Chaitanya tree, Bhakti Vriksha. And after that, the pastimes of the Lord begin from the appearance of the Lord till the sannyasa. The sannyasa diksha of the Lord. That was all in Adi Lila. And then we heard about the connecting piece. Actually, Madhya Lila is after the Lord takes sannyasa, up until the Lord returns from Vrindavan Dham. That's Madhya Lila. But there is a little connecting piece here. What happened after Lord took sannyasa in Katwa? And then, so what happened in between from travel to Katwa till entering into Jagannath Puri? This is what, this connecting piece, this katha we are hearing now. So we have heard about how the Lord took sannyasa and became, Gaurahari became Krishna Chaitanya. And then after that, the pastimes in Advaita Acharya Prabhu house, and how the Lord left Advaita Acharya Prabhu's house to go to Puri. So that's what we have heard in the last katha. And before entering into the further katha today, we will offer our prayers to the three deities in Chaitanya Charitamrita, and then we will see what happened after Lord Chaitanya left Advaitacharya's house. Okay, that's Jayatam Suratau Pangor Mama Mandamater Gatim Matsarvasvat Padam Bhujo Radha Madana Mohanam. Shri Shri Radha Madana Mohan Ki Jaya. Sambandadata Sanatana Goswami Ki Jaya. Divyad Vrindaranya Kalpadrumadaha Srimad Ratnagara Sinhasanastam Srimad Radha Srila Govinda Devo Preshtalibhi Sevyamano Smarami. Shri Shri Radha Govinda Dev Ki Jaya. Abhideya Data Srila Rupa Goswami Ki Jaya. Shriman Rasarasarambhi Vamshi Vatatatastitaha Karshan Venu Swanair Gopir Gopinata Shriyestunaha. Shri Shri Radha Gopinath Ki Jaya. Prayojana Data Srila Raghunath Das Goswami Ki Jaya. And so what happened after? So who left from Advaitacharya Prabhu's house along with Lord Chaitanya, who were accompanying them? Lord Nityananda, Jagadananda, and Mukunda. Yeah. So all four of them, they were traveling from Shantipura towards Jagannath Puri. And how was the travel? Yeah. They were walking through the villages towards Jagannath Puri. What were they doing during the travel? What would Gauranga Mahaprabhu do? Dancing, chanting. Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. As Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was dancing jubilantly, singing like that, the other three Prabhus followed him. And what happened to everybody else? We know by this time. They would join, all the villages would join. And when they come to the river to cross over to the next village like that, the toll people, they would just look at Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They forget about toll collection. They forget about why they're standing there to collect the tolls. They just let Mahaprabhu and the Sankirtan party to cross over, no toll collection. So like that, they walked and they came to this place, Remuna. Yeah. And in this village, Remuna, Gauranga Mahaprabhu already knew that there is Sakshi, that there is a Kshirachur Gopinath there. So he was waiting to have darshan of Kshirachur Gopinath. So today what we will hear is, dear devotees, about Kshirachur Gopinath, who will inevitably take us to Sri Gopalju, Srinathju in Vrindavan Dham, the beloved deity of Sri Madhavendra Puri. So we will hear about Sripada Madhavendra Puri's pastime today with Sri Gopalju. I don't know if we have to say Madhavendra Puri's pastimes with Bhagavan or Bhagavan's pastime with Madhavendra Puri. So, Sri Gopalju's pastime with Madhavendra Puri, and then the deities could not wait. Even Gopinathju wanted to have a pastime with Madhavendra Puri, of course, with Jagannath also. So, we will hear about Sri Pada Madhavendra Puri and his beloved deities and the pastimes there. And also, so in that context, we will hear about Gopalju in Vrindavan and Kshirachora Gopinath in Remuna, and of course Jagannath. After that, we will hear about Sakshi Gopal also. And Dandabanga Leela. That's all we will hear today. Okay, dear devotees. So we will enter into the, we will go to the PowerPoint. Madhya Leela. Ah, right. That's Sripada Madhavendra Puri. Yeah, I'll share this with you. We just heard this last night. So, as usual, not as usual, with great pleasure, again, we want to hear from the nectarian words of Srila Kaviraj Goswami, Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami, what he's saying before proceeding further in narrating the Chaitanya Katha. He offers his obeisances to Madhavendra Puri. And then says, Sahaja Vichitra Madhura Chaitanya Vihara Vrindavana Dasa Mukhe Amritera Dhara. Here Srila Vrindavan Kaviraj Goswami is saying, Sahaja Vichitra Madhura Chaitanya Vihara Vrindavana Dasa Mukhe Amritera Dhara. You know, before we enter into the temple room, we bow down. Especially we see this in South India temples. Before we enter, there is, the entrance will be there. And what we call, there is a little partition, a raised partition that separates from the outer space to the inner space, to the temple. Yeah, separates that. So we have to cross over that. In Telugu, we call it as Gadapa. Step. It's not like, it's almost like a step, but it separates from the external world to the start of the internal world of Bhagavan, the temple. Yeah, that particular. There, what we do before we enter into the temple, we bow down, we touch that place, that separating place, that separated platform, and then we enter into the temple room. Actually, this is this place where Narsingha Bhagavan killed Hiranyakashipu, where it is not the ground and where it is not the sky, but the elevated space, just the junction of inside and outside. So that is the place where Narsingha Bhagavan killed Hiranyakashipus. The words of Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami are like that. The elevated space that we bow down to before we step into the temple room. The Acharya sets the mood so very well. It's not, it is very much about what the Acharya is speaking. But it is also so very much about the predisposition of these Acharyas. What is he saying? Sahaja Vichitra Madhura Chaitanya Vihara Vrindavana Dasa Mukhe Amritera Dhara. Kaviraj Goswami is saying, this Chaitanya Vihara, the Chaitanya Katha is very Madhura, very nectarian. Sahaja, it's naturally nectarian, Gaura Katha. This naturally nectarian one, when it comes from the mouth of Vrindavan Das Thakura, it becomes even more nectarian. This is Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami saying about Vrindavan Das Thakura. He is speaking Chaitanya Charitamrita, how he is drawing the reader's attention again and again to the lotus feet of Vrindavan Das Thakur and praising his glories. That this is an intrinsic quality of humility. Very intrinsic quality. To honor the predecessors like that is an intrinsic quality. They cannot be happy without honoring like that. So that is. And now we can very humbly extend that. So whatever is coming from Vrindavan Das Thakura, yes, is Amritera Dhara. And the same Dhara that is coming from Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami and all our predecessors Acharyas and Srila Prabhupada is Amrita Amritera Dhara, Maha Amrita Dhara. We cannot jump. We cannot jump from here all the way to Chaitanya Charitamrita. This Amrita only gets thickened and nectarian as it is given by our predecessors. So those are the nectarian words of Srila Vrindavan Das Kaviraj Goswami. Okay, so Remuna. Now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the other three Prabhus, Nityananda Ram, Mukunda, Damodara, they came. So they entered into the Remuna temple. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he offered his Dandavat pranams, prostrated obeisances at the lotus feet of Sri Gopalju. Gopinath, yeah, in the Remuna. So Gopinath. And there, the Pushpa Chuda, the flower kind of, the flower turban kind of thing that decorates the shiras of the Lord, the Pushpa Chuda that fell down from the Lord's shiras, the head to the head of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Both are Lords. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu very fondly took that prasad that fell from the head of the deity, Sri Gopinath. And everybody around, all the servants of Gopinath, they were very astonished and very joyful to see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Who would not be astonished and joyful? Because many people came to take darshan there, but the one who came now is not ordinary. So they were very astonished. And so all of them, they resided there that night. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he started narrating the pastime of this Gopinath. Actually, yeah, in the night, they decided to stay there. And just when all the servants, they have brought this bhoga of Kshira, Amrit Keli, to the Lord's 12 pots. And they were taking that for the offering to the Lord. So then the servant said, when Mahaprabhu asked what was that offering, then a servant said, this is Kshir. This is a sweet milk preparation, but this is called Amrita Keli because it is so special that this kind of sweet preparation is not offered anywhere else to the Lord, but only here in Remuna. So that is a famous preparation, Amrita Keli. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard that. And then he started narrating the pastime behind this Amrita Keli, pastime of this Amrita Keli between Gopinath and Madhavendra Puri. He heard this pastime from his guru, Ishwara Puri. So Lord Chaitanya started narrating this pastime. How how this Kshira Gopinath has actually become, how Gopinath has become Kshira Chora Gopinath. And then So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu starts the fast. So Madhavendra Puri, he went to Vrindavana and then went to Govardhan Hill. Very ecstatically, he performed the pradikshina, yeah, around the Govardhan Hill, parikrama around the Govardhan Hill. And he was very oblivious to what is happening in his body, hunger, thirst. He doesn't really know. So he did the parikrama and then came down and sat under the tree, a big tree. And then he was sitting there. And then a little boy, a bluish black boy. We are very familiar with who this bluish black boy is, but apparently Madhavendra Puri did not know who this bluish black boy was. So Madhavendra Puri, he sat under the tree and he's in his own bhajan. And this cowherd boy comes in. He says, Baba, what kind of meditation are you doing? Huh? The ladies here who came to fetch some water here in this river, they said you are sitting here, and so I brought some milk for you. Here, in this village, nobody stays hungry, and you must have been hungry. So I wanted to give you this milk so you can take it. Then he also says, see, there are some people who do madhukari, who go and beg around. Fruits, roots. If not that, they'll take fruits and roots. And some people take only milk. But some, they don't even beg around or take anything. Then what do? I have to supply what they need. So please take this milk. Says this cowherd boy to Madhavendra Puri. Yeah. The Lord, how he takes full responsibility of Ananya Bhaktas. Ananyas chintayanto mam ejana paryupasate. Tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. Full watch on Madhavendra Puri. Now the full responsibility of Madhavendra Puri, even the bodily needs or everything is on this cowherd boy. So he's 24/7 on God in regards to Madhavendra Puri. So yes, please take the milk, says cowherd boy. And then Madhavendra Puri is, he follows Ayachika Vritti. Madhukari is, you go around and you just whatever is given, take whatever is given as a bhiksha. But Ayachika Vritti is, you don't even ask. You don't even ask for anything. If it comes, it comes. If it doesn't come, it doesn't come. Madhavendra Puri, he was doing Ayachika Vritti. So the full responsibility of Madhavendra Puri, 24/7, is on Bhagavan now. So he has to come as cowherd boy now. And he has to supply the milk. And see that he takes the milk. Like that. So he gives the milk. So Madhavendra Puri, he takes the milk and he says, this cowherd boy says, okay, I will be back again. So you please take the milk and get some rest. Then Madhavendra Puri drinks the milk. The milk is very yummy. And then he washes the pot and then puts it aside and then looks for this cowherd boy to come and take back this pot. Takes this pot. One second, idiot, what is? Yeah, Haribol sir. Actually, Zoom class learn. We'll talk again. Yeah, Haribol. So, yeah. So he, Madhavendra Puri rests. And then what happens? In the dream comes this cowherd boy, the same cowherd boy, and says, Madhavendra Puri, I've been I've been observing you for quite some time. And I was actually looking for your arrival here. And I am Gopal, the lifter of Govardhan Hill. And, I am now placed beneath the dirt, in the mud, and I am suffocating here. So let me take you to the place. And in the dream, Gopal is taking Madhavendra Puri to a place where the deity was buried there. And Gopal, he says, see, I am buried here. And I'm very suffocated here. It gets very hot in the winters and very cold, very hot in the summers and very cold in the winters. Can you please take me out of this place? Can you please take me out? And you would need help of the villagers because I'm kind of heavy there, and it will be hard for you to just make your way till here and then cut the all the branches that come in your way. So would you please take me out of this place and get all the villagers to help you in this? I am actually very pleased with your loving devotion. So that's why I've been waiting for you. When would Madhavendra Puri come? When would he come? When would he rescue me? Take me out of this place. And now that you are here, I am very happy to take your service, says Gopala in the dream. And Madhavendra Puri, he wakes up and then he puts the pieces together. That Gopala that appeared in the dream is the same cowherd boy that gave him milk the night before in the evening. Then he dances ecstatically. And after some time, then he just gets composed, and he thinks that he should just focus on the service now to get the Gopal deity from the ground outside and to do the prana pratishtha for the deities. So he goes to the villagers and he calls all of them. And that's one thing here, dear devotees. These pure devotees, they're always ecstatic. And they just have to, they have to put their ecstasy aside and then go on with the services that are ordained by the Lord, very, very lovingly ordained by the Lord for them. So our Srila Prabhupada is the same. They are all Premi Bhaktas, so much filled with the love of God. But how beautifully it stays within them, and the seva, a loving seva goes on outside. So that is what Madhavendra Puri was doing. So now Madhavendra Puri called all the villagers, come, please come. Yes, let's go. Gopal is there. He wants to come out of that place. We have to do the prana pratishtha. So all these villagers, Madhavendra Puri, he had asked all the villagers to get, this to get all the tools required to cut the trees and branches so they can make their way to the place where Gopal was buried. So Madhavendra Puri was guiding them how to get to Gopal. Yeah, that's what our Guru does, that, right? Guides us, gets the tools that we need to get the obstacles out. He guides us so we can get to Bhagwan and be engaged in the seva. Yeah. So like that, now they came, and now Madhavendra Puri, all these very, very strong, heavy weightlifters, they dug the earth, and then they were trying to lift the Gopal's deity. But he was very heavy, so heavy. Why he decided to be unusually heavy there? He is heavy, but Madhavendra Puri had to come there because they were not able to lift him up. When Madhavendra Puri came there, and then he he laid his lotus hand and then started lifting up. Then Gopalju, yes, he was ready to get up. In this way, Gopal was taken outside the ground. And then two, yeah, so this is in the dream. Yeah. So two big rocks were brought. One to place the deity on, and one to support the deities as as the backrest. So these two big rocks were washed with the water from the river there, and the deity was placed there, and about 200 pots of water. All the villages, they brought all this water, and because this news went everywhere that Gopal is here and he has decided to be here and the prana pratishtha has to be done. Everybody brought, all the villages, the milk, yogurt, various foodstuffs, and different ornaments and clothes and everything. So not just that village, the villages around also brought that. So now the Abhishek ceremony of Gopal is happening, and Madhavendra Puri is guiding them. Yeah. So all these 200 pots of water from the river bathed the Shri Vigraha of Gopalji. And after that, the Panchagavya. Panchagavya are 5 products of the cow. With the Panchagavya, Abhishek has happened. And then after that, the Panchamrita. That Abhishekam has also happened. And the final Abhishek was this water with the rose water, fragmented rose water. With that, the final Abhishek was done. And the deity, Gopal's deity, was beautifully decorated. Chandan was applied. First, all these beautiful clothes that were brought to decorate the Shri Vigraha, to do the alankar. The clothes were offered, and then Chandan was offered. And then after this, the Arati has started. Shri Pada Madhavendra Puri was doing the Arati of Shri Vigraha of his Gopalji. All the villages, they were very jubilantly singing, dancing up and down. The Arati ceremony is over. And by that time, these villages, they brought rice, vegetables, all that to this place. And Sri Padmadhavendra Puri, by the time he initiated the Brahmana, so all these ingredients can be cooked. And then the Annakuta ceremony can happen. So all these ingredients that were brought from all the villages, it is said that everything that was there in all these villages' house, the rice, the grains, the roots, the fruits, the milk, and the yogurt, everything, all the villages, they just brought it to Gopalji. So with the rice and the dal and the vegetables that were brought, these brahmanas, they cooked. They cooked bhoga to the Lord. Yeah. So this bhoga was offered. This bhoga was offered. And Madhavendra Puri personally offered all this bhoga. Then what happened during the bhoga offering? Yadyapi Gopala Sabha Anna Vyanjana Kaila Tanra Hasta Sparshe Puna Temani Haila. Gopal ate everything that was offered. Sabha Anna Vyanjana Kaila. He ate everything that was offered. Did anybody see how Gopal ate? Iha anubhava kaila madhava gosani Tanrathani Gopalera Lukana Kichunai. Madhavendra Puri, Madhav Gosani. Iha Anubhava Kaila. Anubhava is experiencing. Anubhava is experiencing. It's not just seeing. Madhavendra Puri could experience how Gopala has honored, has accepted all the bhoga that was offered to him. Madhavendra Gosai, he could experience it. Sadhavo hrudayam mahyam, sadhunam hrudayam tvaham, madanyattena janati. Madanyattena janati. Aham tebhyo manakapi. There is no difference, dear devotees. There is no separate existence for Bhagavan and the pure devotees. They are not separately existing. They are so much together intrinsically. In the heart of Bhagavan are these Shuddha Bhaktas who only has Bhagavan fully in their heart. So in the heart of the Bhaktas, Premi Bhaktas, it's just Bhagavan. And in the heart of Bhagavan, it's just the heart of his lovers, the Premi Bhaktas. So there's no separate existence for both of them. In this way, there is no difference between the Nama Tattva and Guru Tattva. There is no difference. Bhagavan does not exist separately. Harinama does not exist separately. Intrinsically intertwined with Guru Tattva. Because Sadhavo Hrudayam Mahyam, Sadhunam Hrudayam Tvaham. How can one get Bhagavan or Nama? It has to come from the Hridaya of the Sadhu. So why wouldn't they perceive? It's not just that they see the Bhagavan, they perceive Bhagavan. All the activities of the Bhagavan, the pastimes of Bhagavan, the qualities of Bhagavan, they just perceive. So that's our portal of entry. We cannot perceive anything about Bhagavan. They do. And they are the one that is giving shelter to us. Yeah. So that's how Madhavendra Puri could experience Anubhava Kaila, Madhava Goswami. Ekadinera udyoge aiche mahotsava Kaila Gopala Prabhavehaya Anyena Janila. In one day, for the whole thing to happen, huge festival, the whole village, Annakuta ceremony, and Madhavendra Puri engaging everybody in the village is possible by Gopala Prabhavehaya. This is the Prabhava of Gopal, mercy of Bhagavan. Yasya Prasado Bhagavat Prasada. Gopal was sitting there, right? Before Madhavendra Puri came, Gopal was sitting there, underground. Bhagavan was there. But what were the villagers doing? They didn't even know that Gopal was there. And Gopal was waiting on Madhavendra Puri, eagerly waiting on Madhavendra Puri to pick him up and to give Prana Pratishta. And this dear devotee of the Lord, Madhavendra Puri, he engaged the whole village in the seva of Bhagavan. So this is a pastime between the Bhakta, the Premi Bhakta and Bhagavan. And in this pastime, everybody else around are automatically benefited, causelessly benefited. Just that the pastimes with the Bhagavan and his loving bhaktas happen, and all of us jivas, we just get the side benefit. So Srila Prabhupada, that was a pastime Srila Prabhupada had with the holy name, how he brought the holy name to the Western world. But how did that pastime happen? Through his guru, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta. He said, you have to go to West and give them Krishna. So the pastime between this Bhagavan and Bhakta, yeah, how they happen and how everybody else, all the other conditioned jivas are automatically purified and brought to Bhagavan and engaged in the seva. This is how the bhakti gets established in this material world. In this world of modes, this is how bhakti enters into the heart of the conditioned souls, not by their own effort. Villagers were not really, they didn't even know where Gopal was, who Gopal was. Their body was in karma. They didn't know about Gopal, their mind, their intelligence. They were all just very conditioned. But here came the Bhakta, Madhavendra Puri. How he purified everybody in the seva of Gopal, engaged in the seva of Gopal, and thus instilled the bhakti into their hearts. He brought bhakti in their actions, and he instilled bhakti through his words into their heart. This is what bhakti means. This is what Cheshtarupa Bhakti is. This is what Bhavarupa Bhakti is. Simply descending. All of us are being engaged in the seva simply because of the descending mercy that is given to us by Prabhupada. Any Cheshtarupa Bhakti, any external service is mercy. Anything that is getting into our hearts and changing our hearts, that's simply the mercy. It can be through the deity worship, which unites the whole village, the whole congregation. It could be through the Sankirtana, which unites the whole world. There is no difference between the deity, Shri Vigraha and Shri Nama. There is no difference. So Shri Vigraha, Shri Nama appears in this world and purifies all the fallen souls through his Priya Bhaktas. This is Bhakti. Nothing else. Nothing that is generated from a speculated mind. So this is Bhakti. So yes, dear devotees, yeah, so that was in one day. The whole, it is all because of the mercy of Gopalji that everything has happened. And it didn't stop one day. The other villages also, they wanted to have their turn to do the worship and to do the Annakuta ceremony. So like that, one after the other, all the villages, Sri Padmadhavendra Puri engaged each village at a time in the service of Bhagavan to do this Annakuta ceremony. So like that, the days passed by. Yeah. And Vrajavasi Lokera Krishna Sahaja Priti Gopalera Sahaja Priti Vrajavasi Prati. It's saying how naturally all the villages in Vraja there, all the surrounding villages, they naturally wanted to come and offer everything to Gopal there. In this way, Madhavendra Puri, Sripada Madhavendra Puri engaged all the villages in the seva of Gopalji. And like this, I think about 40 days continuously like that. 40 days, something like that, yeah. The Annakuta ceremony has happened. Meanwhile, there were two sannyasis that came from Jagannath Puri. So Sripada Madhavendra Puri, he trained them in the deity worship to take over the deity worship and to continue deity worship. Like that, Madhavendra Puri engaged everybody in their specific services. Mhm. So the days are passing by. Gopalji thought, oh, this is so wonderful. Fine. I want to have one more pastime with my loving devotee. And again, he appears in the dream. Madhavendra Puri, everything is going on so well. I am very happy. But you know what? I'm still hot. It's still hot. My body is really hot. I really need some chandan. And who can get chandan for me, huh? Chandan is from Jagannath Puri. I am here in Vrindavan. Who else can get? But only you, Madhavendra Puri. And it is something that I really need. Can you get that for me? Madhavendra Puri. When a dream comes like that to this Prem Bhaktas, this dream, even in the Charita of Narottama Das Thakura, these lovers of the Lord, whose heart is just filled so much with love for Bhagwan and who see Bhagwan everywhere all the time, their daytime is just to sing and dance and hear about Bhagwan, that's completely be absorbed in Bhagwan. So that's their absorption during the daytime. Yeah. And what happens in the night? It's Bhagwan's turn to come in the dreams now. So in the morning, it's Bhakta's turn to meditate upon their sweet, loving Lord. And in the night, it's Bhagwan's turn to reciprocate with his loving Bhaktas. Same with Srila Narottam Das Thakura. He used to hear Gaura Katha the whole day until he falls asleep. And in the dreams, who comes in the dreams? Gaura Nityananda, Gaura Nityananda. So it is in these dreams he was said, okay, now come to Vrindavan. So he was running. Narottam Das Thakura was running in the middle of the night, in the jungle. There is no light. Just run towards Vrindavan. And then fall asleep when the body gets tired and then collapses, falling asleep. And who comes in the sleep? Gaura. He brings in a pot. Narottama, he forgot that he was, his body, there was something called as hunger and thirsty. He was just falling. The body was falling because it's exhausted. Now it's the Lord's turn to take care of his bhakta. So there, Gauranga, he came with this, again, the sweet rice. There is something about this milk preparation. So he came with this milk pot and then fed Sri Narottama and then disappeared. And then Narottama, he got the strength again and started running again. Mad after this loving Lord. Transcendental madness. What is our great fortune? We hear about this transcendental madness and these bhaktas. So, so Madhavendra Puri had this dream from Gopalji. Can you please get some chandan? Of course, yes. The very next day, Madhavendra Puri started to Jagannath Puri because the chandan and camphor is available there very much. So he started his yatra to Jagannath Puri. A dear devotee is when an instruction. This is, this word instruction, I don't know what to say. When it comes from Guru, it is Upadesha. Upadesha is something that brings us closer to Bhagwan. So Guru's Upadesha, Guru's instruction is a huge blessing for us to bring us closer to Bhagwan. Even if it is like a thunderbolt, that is how it gets us closer to Bhagwan. Upadesha. So when there is an Upadesha from Sri Guru, or when there is an order, a sweet order like this from Bhagwan, what do the bhaktas do? They know nothing in this world, but only to go ahead, jump on it, see how that can be done. They don't know about the possibility and impossibility. They do not have any specific plan of this and that goes in the mind. They are totally dependent on Krishna. And then it unfolds for them like that. So Madhavendra Puri? Yes. He got up in the morning. He said, okay, now please take care of Gopalju very nicely. He already trained the sannyasis and he trained many brahmanas there. So please take care of Gopalju. I have to get chandan for him. Yeah. So, and then he tells the villagers and then heads to Jagannath Puri. Who does he meet on his way? Shantipura Advaitacharya. He meets Advaitacharya there. And then he, of course, Advaitacharya, he begs for initiation and Madhavendra Puri initiates Advaitacharya there. And then proceeds to Remuna after Shantipuri. He comes to Remuna. And he heard that, and he has the darshan of this Gopinachu. And he looked, darshan, Bhagwan was very beautiful, especially through the eyes of the pure devotees. He was very beautiful. And again, same thing. On that night, when Madhavendra Puri came, the offering of this sweet rice was going on to the altar. And he asked, what is this sweet rice? Then they say, yeah, this is Amrit Keli. Yeah. It is so nectarian that nobody else offers this anywhere else to Bhagavan, only here. Then Madhavendra Puri got so interested. This is called Amrita Keli, and Gopal likes it. So if only I can taste that a little bit, so I can prepare exactly like that and offer to Gopal, my Gopal also there. That's the thought that came to Madhavendra Puri. And immediately he thought, aparada. What a thought is this? Sense gratificatory thought. Sense gratificatory thought. Why did I even think that I should taste? Of course, he wanted to taste because he wanted to offer it to his Gopal. But Madhavendra Puri thought so. This is. So he feels very ashamed that he had this thought that he had to taste Gopal's boka like that. Then he didn't say anything and he just slept there in the temple premises there. And again, dear devotees, Madhavendra Puri, Ayachika Vritti. We do not know if he ate anything at all. Since he started from Govardhan there, he's here in Remuna. We do not know if there was anything sent into his body. So Madhavendra Puri, he was resting there in the temple premises. And now the bhoga was offered by this pujari to Gopinath. The 12 pots went inside. All the 12 pots were offered. Pujari offered them. And after the offering was done, Pujari brought all the pots outside. And then nicely, those pots are disposable. All those earthly pots are disposable. So after the offering was done, the bhoga was, the prasadam was taken out, and then he cleaned the kitchen, and Pujari went to bed. He rested, and immediately, as soon as he slept, he had this dream. Within, as if the Lord was waiting for the Pujari to fall asleep so he can immediately come into the dream. So in the dream, he came, and Gopal is saying, you offered sweet rice to me. Yes, but please check. There were not 12 pots that came back. There's one pot that I'm hiding behind the curtain. It's actually behind me. And I hid this for my devotee Madhavendra Puri. So please give this pot to Madhavendra Puri. Gopal appears in the dream to Pujari. Pujari wakes up. He opens the door of the temple room, and then he looks there and there's a pot there. Gopal hid for Madhavendra Puri. He brings the pot out. offer obeisances to the Lord. Yeah. And then he takes the pot out and he goes into the street. Who? Whoever, no, that person whose name is Madhavendra Puri, please come, please come. And all the villagers, they woke up. It's in the middle of the night, right? Everybody was about to fall asleep. Everybody, they were awake. And then Madhavendra Puri did not hear it yet. And then he proceeds further, Pujari. Yeah. Whoever that fortunate soul is, Madhavendra Puri, please come. Gopal has some Amrit Keli for you. He wanted me to give this for you. So wherever you are, kindly come over. Attention, please. Sripada Madhavendra Puri. These words fell into the ears of Madhavendra Puri. He came running there. And then this Pujari, he placed the pot of Amrita Keli, the prasad from Gopal, in the hands of Madhavendra Puri and then prostrated obeisances to Sripada Madhavendra Puri. He says, how fortunate are you that Gopal personally hid this sweet rice for you. So please bless me. Please bless me that the Gopal had to come in my dream to say, to give this pot rice to you. You are Mahan Bhakta. Very kindly bless me. We are all very fortunate that you are here. So that's what Pujari did. And dear devotees, the Pujari could have thought, I am the head Pujari here. And I have been offering the sweet rice every day to the Lord. And the Lord decides to give the sweet rice to somebody else. He could have thought. That's what a conditioned soul can think, right? But evidently, just with the achar of this pure devotee, the Pujari, it is understood that he didn't even have that thought. He was rejoicing the fortune of Madhavendra Puri. This is one more thing about humility, dear devotees. When one's heart is fully filled with the love for Krishna, they rejoice the fortune of other devotees. That's Goloka Vrindavana, where everybody else is rejoicing the seva that they are offering to Shyamasundara Krishna. It's just an intrinsic part of the humility, where the heart is filled with Bhagwan, love for Bhagwan. So this Pujari also, he was rejoicing the fortune of Madhavendra Puri and seeking blessings from Madhavendra Puri. So beautiful are the pastimes. So beautiful of the Charita of Gaura and all these associates of Gaura, devotees here. So Madhavendra Puri, he ate the sweet rice. He ate the sweet rice. He honored the prasad of his beloved. He now, Madhavendra Puri has become beloved for Gopinath here. Gopal is there and Gopinath here. So Madhavendra Puri honored this loving reciprocation from the Lord. He honored the Amrita Keli, dear devotees. Not only he honored Amrita Keli, he washed the pot after honoring the sweet rice there. He washed the pot. He broke that in pieces and he gathered all the pieces and then tied it at the end of his uttariya, his upper cloth. And he honored those pieces of mud of that pot every day a little bit, because Gopal held it with his transcendental hands. And that pot came to his bhakta. So he was honoring the mud pot also every day. Like that. Whatever that comes from the Lord is prasad. In whatever form it might be. As sweet as Amrita Keli, or hard and muddy, or maybe not so tasty, like the pot of that sweet rice. Everything that comes from Bhagavan is just auspicious. Auspicious. So that's Madhavendra Puri. He honored that as my mud pot also. And now everybody now in the Remuna, they are starting to talk about Madhavendra Puri. And he said, no, this is no good. I have to get away from here. They are these devotees who are absorbed in the thought of the Lord. Not that they don't look for fame. They are very averse to the fame. They are averse. You know, the description is given in Shastra. And even when these pure devotees talk to, in their Vani, they say, Pratishta. Pratishta is like the stool of a hog. Ah, dear devotees. Dear devotees. I mean, Pratishta, they could just say, avoid it, and it is smelly. No, it didn't stop there. Pratishta is like a stool of a hog. Hog itself is filthy, right? What it eats is stool. And the excreta of the hog, what could it be when it is eating stool? All the sadhu mahajanas, they compared Pratishta, even the thought of Pratishta, as the stool of a hog. They don't want anything tainted on their pure heart at all. So what would they do? What does Madhavendra Prabhu do? He couldn't stay there. With so much commotion going on, talking about his glories, he couldn't stay there. So in the middle of the night, he didn't tell to anybody. He walked towards Jagannath Puri. He reached Jagannath Puri. What to do? He escaped from the reputation in Remuna, but the news spread. Here is the great Bhakta Sripada Madhavendra Puri. And Gopinath became Shirachor Gopinath by stealing that sweet pot for his dear devotees. So here comes the Bhakta of the Kshirachora Gopinath, Sripada Madhavendra Puri. The whole Jagannath Puri was talking about that. As Madhavendra Puri was coming, everybody was welcoming, paying dandavats. The Bhakta, Mahat Bhakta of Kshirachora Gopinada, Sripada Madhavendra Puri ki Jaya. So Jaya was happening. So, Pratishtara Swabhavai Jagata Vidita Yena Vanche Tarahaya Vidata Nirmita. Beautiful. Kaviraj Goswami saying, what to do? This Pratishta that follows a pure bhakta is Swabhava. Because they are so transcendentally so powerful, Pratishta follows them. The Pratishta wants to follow this transcendental personality. It's just Swabhava. It's just Swabhava. You know, rose. What can the rose do? The fragrance follows the rose. Like that. The Pratishta follows the transcendental personalities. And this is Vidata Nirmita. This is how it works. Vidata Nirmita. This is the making of the maker of this Vidhata. And this is how things work. The fame automatically follows, Pratishta automatically follows the transcendental personality, though they don't want it. Yeah. Pratishtara bhaya puring gela palana Krishna preme pratishta chale sangega dhanam. Sangishtachale, along with the transcendental personalities, the Pratishta follows. Okay. Now he came to Jagannath Puri, our Sripada Madhavendra Puri. And he told all the devotees there what Gopalji wanted in Govardhan, that he wants his Chandan, and all the devotees, whoever is influential there, they went to their influential personalities around, the little kings or rulers or nawabs like that, and they have asked for the chandan and also the camphor. Yeah. So I think it's about 100 mounds of chandan and 20 bags of camphor like that. So in this way, here also Madhavendra Puri, he came in and he engaged everybody here in the service of Gopalji for the chandan and the camphor. So everybody, all of them, they gathered the required chandan and the camphor. And they gave one brahmana and a servant to go with Madhavendra Puri, because now the travel has to happen from Jagannath Puri with this chandan and camphor to Vrindavana. Dear devotees, that is not an ordinary travel in those days. They have to walk by feet, number one. Number two, chandan and camphor are very expensive at that time. And so much of chandan and camphor, it's like carrying a huge amount of wealth. And it is known to everybody. The villagers, the dacoits, that the chandan is coming, the camphor is coming. And the Muslim rulers are also there. So everybody's watch is there now on the chandan and camphor. Is Madhavendra Puri thinking about all this? He's only thinking, when can I take this chandan and the karpura and offer to Gopalji? Gopalji is waiting on this. Well, Madhavendra Puri didn't have to think about the food or the water, ahara. Yeah. So, ahara, nidra, bhayamaitanam. They are very conspicuously absent in these pure devotees. Ahara, nidra, bhayamaitanam, they are the symptoms of the lower modes. Ahara, the hunger, nidra, sleep, bhaya, fear, maitunam is sense gratification. Yeah. These four things, they are the symptoms of the lower modes. That's why the animals also perform this ahara, nidra, bhaya, maitunam. And this is why the human beings are also called dvipada pashu, if they are just doing ahara, nidra, bhaya, maitunam. But for a transcendental personalist, these four things conspicuously, and they come down. There is no fear at all, abhayam for them. Ahara, you see Madhavendra Puri, they are not aware of their hunger. They will have like that. And bhayam, ahara, nidra, sleep is also comes down so very much. And there's zero sense gratification. So these are the characteristics of a pure devotee. So Madhavendra Puri, he had no conscious of ahara, hunger. He has no fear at all too. So when he has no fear in this heart, why would this thought of, oh, I'm taking this chandan, what would happen to me if the dacoits come? He will not even get that thought. So he didn't get that. But now it's all on Bhagavan. Madhavendra Puri will not get a thought to eat, but Bhagavan has to feed. Madhavendra Puri will not get a thought of what is going to happen to him. There is no thought of fear, but Bhagavan has to fear for him now. Bhagavan is fearing for his bhakta. Now, my devotee, he is carrying all this chandan and this karpur. This is not going to be safe for him. I have to come up with some plan. Otherwise, he will start this journey. And which will put him at risk for his life. So let me come up with a plan. And what is the plan? Again, Madhavendra Puri, when he is resting there he actually brings from Jagannath Puri to Remuna. So there in Remuna, when he gets close to Remuna, the Lord decides to come in his dream. Who this time? Gopal comes in the dream. Oh, my dear devotee. You see, I sent you there for Chandan. You know what? I'm feeling better now, a little better. But I know that you are getting this Chandan. So, I am very much pleased, actually. Yeah, I know that you have gone there on my order. I'm very much pleased with all your efforts. So please know that I am pleased with you. You have got all the Chandan ready for me. You have all the camphor ready for me. So do not think that your seva has gone unnoticed. I am very much pleased with you. But would you do me a favor? Please apply all that chandan and all that karpura on me, who is standing there as Gopinath. There is no difference between me here as Gopal in Vrindavan and Gopinath in Remuna. So, my dear devotees, it is my desire. Bhagavan has to say that. It is my desire. Otherwise, the bhakta will not do. He will think, no, I will bring that to you anyway. So that's why Bhagavan has to say, it is my desire that you apply all the chandan there and all the camphor there to Gopinath. And then what would the bhakta do? It is your desire, so be it, my dear Lord. So next day, Madhavendra Prabhu says to the devotees there in Remuna, so this is the order of Gopalji, that all this should be applied to Gopinath here. And then he stays there. He engages everybody. The chandana, which is in pieces, has to be grinded to become the powder, the chandana paste. And the camphor also to be grounded. So he engages all the devotees there. He stays in Remuna until all the chandan and the karpura is smeared very wonderfully on Gopinath. And after that, he heads back to Jagannath Puri. So this is the Lila of Gopalji, Gopinath, and Jagannath, all of them. Bhagavan had to appear to his dear devotee. He couldn't wait to appear 3 times in the dream. Yeah, first time. Can you please bring me out? I am very much suffocated there, underground. Then Gopal is brought out. Prana Pratishta happened. And then again, second time in the dream, oh, I am very hot here. My body is very hot. Can you please bring the chandan and karpura? And the bhakta went to bring all that. And Bhagavan is so pleased. Aranyas chintayanto mam. His safety. Bhagavan, bhakta's safety. And then again he appears as Gopal again. No, please offer everything to Gopal there. Gopinath there. 3 times in the dream. And he offered milk preparation as Gopal, right? As a cowherd boy, he offered milk there. And he offered the Amritakeli milk preparation there. And of course, the Jagannath Prasad, like that. So for these Ananya Bhaktas, they have nothing in their world but to see what their beloved Bhagavan wants. And for Bhagavan, he is 24/7 on call. Not on call. He is 24/7 watching closely to the needs of the bhaktas. So this is the beautiful pastimes between the Bhagavan and Bhakta. Yeah. So this is the narration that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving to the devotees, to Nityananda Ram, to Mukunda, and to Damodara. Mahadaya Maya Prabhu Bhaktavatsala Chandana Paribhakta Shramakarila Safala. Now, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, how he is relishing. This is the relishing of the pastimes or gunas of the Lord. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching us. Mahadayala Prabhu, look at my dear Lord, he's Bhakta Vatsala. And that's why he wanted the safety of Madhavendra Puri. And for that reason, Gopal asked that all the chandan has to be applied onto Gopinachi. Purira prema para kashta karaha vichara alaukika prema chitte lage chamatkara maneka chandana tola visheka karpura gopale paribaye ananda prachura. How very lovingly the Bhakta has offered the Chandan and Karpura onto the transcendental Shri Vigraha of the Lord. Praghada Premiraye Swabhava Chara Nija Dukha Vignadira Nakare Vichara. So Gauranga Mahaprabhu, he relished the Mahadayamaya Prabhu Bhakta Vatsala. He relished the qualities of Bhagavan. And now he is relishing the qualities of a Bhagavata. Praghada Preme Swabhava Vichara. Look at Sripada Madhavendra Puri. Look at the prema he had for Bhagavan. Nija Dukkha Vignadira Nakare Vichara. Am I going to have difficulties? Vigna, obstacles? Am I going to face any troubles? Will I be subjected to any miseries? Nakare vichara. Sripada Madhavendra Puri, he did not think of any of these things. Bahu parishrama chandana remuna anila ananda badila mane dukkanaga nila. How beautifully Gopal has appeared in the dream of Madhavendra Puri and said, I'm very much pleased with your seva. So please do not think that your seva has gone waste. You please apply the chandan and karpura onto me, present as Gopala there. How wonderfully is the Lord saying that I have accepted all your seva. Pariksha karite Gopala kaila ajna dana Pariksha kariya sheshe haila dayavana Ei bhakti bhakta priya Krishna Vyavahara bhujihito ama Sabara nahi adhikaram. These are the transcendental loving pastimes of Bhagavan and Premi Bhaktas. Ama sabara nahi adhikara. Vyavahara bhuji hetito amara sabara nahi adhikara. Not everybody can understand these transcendental mellows that are exchanged between the Bhagavan and pure devotees, the Premi Bhaktas. This is the transcendental exchange. And this is the intense love between the Bhagavan and the lovers of Bhagavan. Gauranga Mahaprabhu is relishing like that. So, Sripada Madhavendra Puri ki jaya, Gopal Ju ki jaya, Shira Chora Gopinath ki jaya, Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki jaya. In this way, Gauranga Mahaprabhu and all the other Prabhus also, they have honored, they have spent their time there like that, hearing about the glories of Bhagavan and Bhakta. And then they headed towards Jagannath Puri, and they came to this place, Kataka. It is called Kataka. I think this katha, it is so relishing, but we will briefly say this one because of the lack of time. So, Gauranga Mahaprabhu and Nityanandaram, Mukunda, and Damodara, they came to Kataka. There, Nityanandaram, he came here before, even before this trip, and he heard about this pastime of Sakshi Gopal, because there is the deity of Sakshi Gopal in Kataka. So, Nityanandaram, all of them, they paid their respects, their obeisances to the deity, and Nityanandaram started narrating the story of the pastime of the Sakshi Gopal here, how Sakshi Gopal ended up here in Katak from Vrindavan. So the story we all know is there is so much to relish in the story, but we'll just go quickly. So Nityanandaram, he was narrating the story. Okay, so there were these two Brahmanas, a younger Brahmana and an older Brahmana in South India, Vidyanagaram. So they were going on a parikrama from South India to Vrindavana. They started their parikrama separately, but they met. They met after starting their parikrama. This young Brahmana saw that older Brahmana is also heading towards Vrindavana. And then after that, both of them, since they're from Vidyanagar, they started doing the, not parikrama, the yatra, yatra to Vrindavana. So from South India, Vidyanagar, they walked. Again, in those days, it's all walking. They walked, saw all the holy places, the pilgrimages, and they came to Vrindavana. And there is a deity, Gopal's deity, besides Govinda Dev's deity there. Used to be there. This deity and the temple used to be there. So Gopal was there, besides Govinda Dev's deity. So these two Brahmanas, they came to Vrindavana and they came to have darshan of this Gopal. And during this yatra, this young Brahmana was constantly attending to all the needs of older Brahmana. So when they came to this deity, after having darshan of this deity, the older Brahmana was thinking about this younger Brahmana. And he looked at him and he said, "You have been with me throughout the yatra, from the beginning till the end. And you have served me so nicely. I haven't felt fatigued or weak throughout the yatra because you were taking care of me so well. I cannot be ungrateful to you. I want to give you something. As a token of gratitude, I want to give my daughter to you in marriage," says older Brahmana. What does the younger Brahmana say? Younger Brahmana says, "O Dvija, O Brahmana, I accompanied you, I served you, not to ask anything from you. I was not expecting anything from you. You don't have to give me anything. I did not serve you to get something from you. I was just doing the seva to you because you're a Vaishnava." And when I serve the Vaishnavas, Bhagavan is pleased. So in order to please Bhagavan, I'm serving you. So you don't have to give me this, this your daughter as gift. So you don't have to give me anything. So this young Brahmana, he clearly stated that he has done this only for Vaishnava Seva. Even though when the offer was coming there, I mean, again, this old Brahmana is a very rich Brahmana. Rich Brahmana, a daughter of a rich Brahmana means it's a lot. Very learned Brahmana, rich Brahmana has a beautiful daughter. All three combinations are there with this old Brahmana. It means if he gets married to this older Brahmana's daughter, he's going to become rich. He will be in the midst of this scholarly, means he will get the fame also. And the daughter is beautiful. Sense gratification also will be there. All this offering, they have come. They have come to this young Brahmana without asking. Even when this has come without asking, what is this young Brahmana saying? Please think about it. I am a Daridrya. I am poverty-stricken Brahmana. I have no education. And so I don't think I am suitable for your daughter. Also, you have your family members, you have big family. You have to ask for their approval also before you give your daughter to me. So I don't think this is possible. So please do not obligate yourself by promising me your daughter. Na danam na janam na kavitam sundarim. Mama janmani janmanishware bhavatad bhakti ahai tu kitvayi. That's where this young Brahmana is. He had such great ruchi for Bhagavan. That's why he, in spite of those things falling on him, Dhanam, Janam, Kavita, Sundaram, he says, no, please think about it. That doesn't happen artificially, to say no to these things. Because this younger Brahmana is relishing the higher taste so much, he said, no, please, don't. But older Brahmana says, no, I am really wanting to give you give my daughter to you. In those days, the daughters were looked like treasure, a treasure, very valuable treasure. So the parents and the father used to think, this is my valuable property. Daughter is my valuable property, in the sense to save her and to see that she is placed in good hands in marriage to somebody who is able to give her all the care that she needs, all the safety that she needs. So that was the Vedic custom, to think the daughter as their sacred property and to offer it to somebody so she can be taken care of. So that's what, when we hear this presentation in the Shastra, the daughters were seen like that, like a treasure, respectable treasure. So that's why the Brahmana said, my daughter is my property. So I can give her to you. I don't have to ask for anybody's approval. So when the parents are deciding like that, they are looking at the qualification of the bridegroom. And when they think like, oh, our daughter, my property, when she's placed in the hands of this person, she will be happy. Like that. So that's why the whole responsibility is on them to see that the daughter is happy when she's given in marriage. And by this time, the old Brahmana is clear that there is no other better person for her daughter to be happy other than this young Brahmana. So that's why he wants to give her daughter in marriage to young Brahmana. So that's what he says. No, I want to give my daughter to you in marriage. Then this young Brahmana says, okay, since you are persistent, please say this in front of Gopal, Sakshi Gopal. Yeah, in front of Gopal here. Gopal is going to be witness. Because I don't think this would happen. It's very difficult. But you are saying, you are giving the word. For your word to come true, for your own sake, To see that your word comes true, that you keep your promise, give your word in front of Gopal, and he is going to be witness for your word. And then old Brahmana says, yes, Gopal, you are my witness, and I want to give my daughter in marriage to this young Brahmana. Done. And then young Brahmana says, you heard that right, Gopal? The dealings of this young Brahmana, very simple-hearted. You heard that right, Gopal? I will call you Gopal when you are needed as witness, so please do come. You heard what the old Brahmana had to say, his promise, right? Okay. So, young Brahmana already gave heads up to Gopal. And then these two Brahmanas, they go back to Vidyanagar after the stay in Vrindavana. They go back and they go to their homes, and some days pass by, and then one day this young older Brahmana is thinking, I gave this word to this young Brahmana in front of the deity Gopal, and I have to keep it. Older Brahmana is thinking, so in order for me to keep it, I have to reveal this to my family members and relatives that I promised that I will give my daughter to this young Brahmana. And then he called his family members and said, see, this is the promise I gave. So I have to give my daughter to this poor young Brahmana. All the family members, they were upset. They said, how can you do this? Your reputation will go away. Your kula. Yeah, look, it looks like in Brahmanas also there are upper caste Brahmanas, lower caste Brahmanas like that. So your kula, you will lose your reputation. You will lose your caste. Yeah, if you give your daughter in marriage to him. So don't even talk about that. That's what the family and relatives said. But older Brahmana was persistent. He was like, it's okay if I lose the reputation. What's important to me is the promise that I gave to the young Brahmana in front of Gopal. So what's important to me is the promise that I gave in front of the deity. That I have to do. So it's okay if my reputation is gone, says the older Brahmana. This time the family said, no. Okay, you may not care for your reputation, but we do. And if you give your daughter in marriage to that poor fellow, we are going to take poison and all of us will die. Then older Brahmana thinks, Gopal, I am helpless now. I want to keep my promise to you, Gopal. So he turned towards the lotus feet of Gopal, helplessly praying, please somehow keep my promise to you. I do not want to break the religious principle. Same time, same day, that young Brahmana comes to the house of this older Brahmana, says, because why is he coming? Young Brahmana, can't he really wait to get married to the daughter? That's not the case. We will hear why he has come. This young Brahmana is also thinking of the promise of the older Brahmana. His thought is the well-being of the older Brahmana. He knew that it is difficult for him to keep the promise. But what to do? He promised in front of Bhagavan. So his care and his thought is about the older Brahmana. What about his promise? He's not thinking about his promise. He has to keep his promise. I have to go remind him to keep his religious principle. So he comes to the house of older Brahmana and says, the Brahmana, Vipra, do you remember the promise that you wanted to give your daughter in marriage to me? By that time, the family members have trained this older Brahmana to just not say anything, because older Brahmana didn't want it to lie that he did not want to say, no, I did not promise you that I'll give you my daughter. He did not want to say those words. That is outright lie. He didn't want to lie. So the Brahmana said, either, you just stay quiet there and you just say, I do not remember. Just say, do not remember. That is not a lie. So they have trained this older Brahmana how to tackle the situation. So when this younger Brahmana says, do you remember the promise that you have to give your daughter in marriage to me? Then older Brahmana says, he stays quiet. He stays quiet. And after that, when younger Brahmana says, you have to keep your promise. And you promise that in front of Gopal. Then younger Brahmana says, the older Brahmana, he had to say something. He says, I am forgetful. I do not remember if I gave such promise to you. Then immediately, younger Brahmana says, if Gopal comes here and gives the witness, then you will remember. Then you have to give your daughter in marriage to me. Then the older Brahmana understood this indication. The Gopal, yes, when Gopal comes here, I will of course happily give your, when Gopal comes here and says and reminds me that I have given this promise to you, I would happily give my daughter to you in marriage, says older Brahmana. Dear devotees, this is older Brahmana, younger Brahmana thinking for older Brahmana. And older Brahmana is also thinking, how can I keep my promise to Gopal? So, because the older Brahmana has already offered a prayer to the lotus feet of Gopal to please, I'm helplessly turning to you, somehow rescue me. So now younger Brahmana, when he said, when Gopal comes here and bears witness, you gave, then he understood, older Brahmana, here is my chance that my religious principle will be saved. So then he says, yes, I will. And what were the family members thinking? Gopal, from there, from Vrindavan, he comes here, bears witness. When would that happen? Then they also said, okay, no problem. If and when the deity comes and speaks, of course, he can give his daughter in marriage to him, to you. Family members also agreed. Older Brahmana, dear devotees, his prayer was, somehow please keep my religious principles and see that my family is also safe. That was also his prayer. So now the pastime is happening. So this is what young Brahmana said. Okay, now he said, okay, I will bring Gopal here. What confidence is there for these pure devotees? He goes back to Vrindavana. He goes to Gopal and says, Gopal, see, I told you, I gave you heads up that you may have to come as witness. That Vipra, the old Brahmana, he said he was gonna give his daughter in marriage to me. Now he says no. He says that he forgot that he made such promise in front of you, Gopal. And how can this promise me not be fulfilled when it happened in front of you, Gopal? So, please come. Dharmanyevadhikaraste. You have to keep up the dharma, the religious principles of these brahmanas, their vows. For that sake, Gopal, you have to come. And he says one more thing. I see that you are quiet. Please know, if you are not saying anything in the matters of upholding this religious principle, you also are implicated in this adharma, Gopal. So you have to say something. No, Bhagwan has to say something. So beautiful. Like, yesterday in that katha, right? Raghunath Das, the boy, Raghunandana, son of Raghunandana, when he says, you have to eat. My father said, I should offer this to you. You have to eat. Bhagwan had to get ready to eat. So he had to come off the altar and he had to eat the bhoga offered by the son of Raghunandana. Here the same thing. Now Bhagwan has to talk. Here the Bhakta is saying, if you don't talk and say something about this, you will be a part of this adharma. Oh, Bhagavan is implicated. So he's starting to talk. Yes. I hear you. I hear you. Yes. I will be the witness. So, I will bear the witness for you. I will speak. What you can do is, you can go back to Vrindavan, okay? And I will speak. And I will speak to the crowd. I'll speak to the Brahmana. You can go back to Vrindavan, he said. How are you going to speak, Bhagavan? Even if you are coming there, even if you are appearing there in your four-handed Vishnu form and you're talking through the deity, as a deity, nobody is going to believe you. You know why? I told them that I will bring Gopal. So you have to come and you have to talk there. And then Bhagavan, oh, wait a minute. I mean, I am a deity here. And I am used to just standing here. Have you heard any deity walking? Mr. Young Brahmana? Then the young Brahmana says, wait a minute, dear Bhagavan. What are you doing right now to me? You are talking. Have you heard a deity talking, Bhagavan? No, we haven't heard that. Then what about the deity walking? That also can happen. When the deity can talk, the deity can walk. Why are you trying to cheat me, Gopal? Pratima nahi tu sakshat Nanda Nandana. You are not a Pratima. You are not just a statue with no prana, with no consciousness. You are Sakshat Vrajendra Nandana. So please don't try to cheat me with all these words, Gopal. Don't say you are Pratima. Don't say you can't talk. Don't say you can't walk. I know you can talk. I know you can walk. You are Sakshat Vrajendra Nandana. Booked. Vrajendra Nandana Krishna is booked now. He forgot for a minute. He thought he's just Pratima. Cannot talk, cannot walk. So the Bhakta had to remind. And this is the simplicity and purity of a pure devotee. They see the Shri Vigraha as Bhagavan. They see the Shri Nama as Bhagavan. Simplicity, purity. Bhagavan is obligated to be bound by their purity, by their simplicity, by their love. What can you do? And he says, okay, well, if that's the case, I will walk. All right, Mr. Young Brahmana, you walk to Vidyanagara, I'll walk behind you. Do not turn back. I will walk behind you, but do not turn back. Then how do I know that you are coming, my dear Lord? You will hear the nupur, the ankle bells, the music of ankle bells as I put the steps. Okay, assured, good. Also, cook 1 kilo rice for me every day and offer it to me. Really? Does Gopal need that? No! Gopal has to take care of that Mr. Young Brahmana. Otherwise, he will not eat. How can he go to Vidyanagar not eating anything? He will collapse. That he will forget. This pure devotees forget. So that's why he says, you have to offer it to me 1 kilo rice every day. It means you offer it and you eat. Otherwise, you will not be able to walk like that. Okay, 1 kilo rice every day. And Vrajendra Nandana Krishna, Gopala, started walking. Bhagavan started walking behind the Bhakta. Step by step. Yeah. And the Bhakta is hearing the Nupur sounds. And the offering of 1 kilo is going on every day. In this way, the Bhakta brought Bhagavan, made Bhagavan walk from Vrindavan close to Vidyanagara. So Bhagavan came there. It is said that the Bhakta made Bhagavan walk for 100 days. 100 days journey. So when he came close to Vidyanagara, then this young Brahmana, he was thinking, I know that Gopal is behind me, but I want to be doubly sure. Say if I go to Vidyanagar now, and what if I don't hear the Nupur bells from now on, and what if he is not there? Everybody is waiting for Gopal there. So, why don't I just turn around here and see if Gopal is here? I heard the Nupur bells, so he will be here. And even if he chose to become a deity here, then no problem. Vidyanagar is not too far, and all those villages can come here. And then Gopal can bear witness. Thinking like that. This is transcendental intelligence of a pure devotee. This doesn't come from the mind or this polluted intelligence. This directly comes from Bhagavan. Yasyasti bhaktir bhagavati akinchana tatrair gunair. Tatrair sarvair gunair samasate suraha. All the qualities, everything just directly comes from Bhakti Devi, not from the material modes. So then, thinking like that, he slowly looks behind. Gopal knew that he was gonna look behind. Gopal smiled as soon as he's eye to eye. When Mr. Young Brahmana looked at Gopal in his eyes, eye to eye, Gopal smiled and became a deity there. He became a deity there. Yeah. Eta jani tumi sakshi deha daya maya jani sakshi nahi deya tara papahaya pratima nahi tumi sakshat vrajendra nandana vipralagi kara tumi akarya karana. These are the words young Brahmana said to bring Bhagwan behind him. So, like that. And then young Brahmana, he called all the villagers, and the older Brahmana, when he heard about this, he ran towards Gopal. He paid his prostrate obeisances. And of course, Sakshi Gopal, the Gopal is bearing Sakshi now, witness, and said, yes, this Vipra, older Brahmana, has promised that he would give his daughter to this Mr. Young Brahmana. And then older Brahmana was very happy, very happy. And as he promised, he gave his daughter in marriage to the young Brahmana. What is this pastime? Huh? What is this story? Does Nityanandaram has to narrate this story to Gaurachandra, who is a sannyasi, a marriage story? Ordinary marriage story? So many marriages happen. They don't see the marriage. They don't see this as a marriage story. This is the pastime of Bhagavan with two pure devotees. So Bhagavan, after appearing there, after bearing the witness, he speaks to these two Brahmanas. He says, you are my eternal associates, and this is a pastime with you. So he blesses them. So in this way, we know that the older Brahmana and young Brahmana, they are eternal associates of the Lord. You know, Kala Krishna Dasa, his story in Chaitanya Charitamrita we are reading recently. He's an eternal pastime, right? Evidently, he did something forbidden, right? And later on, we come to know that this is, but we see that pastime through the eyes of what Srila Narottam Das Thakura and Srila Kaviraj Goswami said, that the associates are of Gaura are eternal associates. So, though one of the associates don't display the exemplary behavior of a devotee, for that pastime's sake, they are still the associates of the Lord. So, older Brahmana also, he was praying helplessly. He turned towards the Lord. All that. Though he looked like he was not wanting to keep his promise and did not display the ideal Brahmana character, though he looked like that for the sake of the pastime, the Lord said, you are both my eternal associates. Like that. So this is what Gauranga Mahaprabhu, Nityanandaram was narrating. Gauranga Mahaprabhu was relishing. So this is a story of the reciprocation of Bhagavan with his bhaktas. A label of marriage is just a name for this mundane world, to call it as, this is in regards to the marriage. But the essence is about the pastimes of Bhagavan with his pure devotees. How do we know we're pure? The character. There was the young Brahmana. He was always, from the beginning, thinking about the welfare of the older Brahmana only. From the beginning till the end. He called Gopal. So, even when he was about to go to Vrindavan, he said, what he said was, when he said that he does not remember that he gave this promise, then young Brahmana, he said, on the strength of the piety of this older Brahmana, in order to save his religious principle, I will bring Gopal here. How beautiful is that? He's saying, on the strength of the piety of the older Brahmana, and for his sake. So this is the pastime of pure devotees with Bhagavan. This is what Nityanandaram and Gauranga Mahaprabhu was relishing. So, Sakshi Gopal ki jaya, Nityanandaram ki jaya, Gaurachandra ki jaya, Gaura associates ki jaya, young Brahmana ki jaya, older Brahmana ki jaya. The last point is Dandabhangana Lila. So after this pastime, Nityanandaram, Gauranga Mahaprabhu, Damodara, Mukunda, they started walking towards Jagannath Puri. They came very close to Jagannath Puri. Very close to Jagannath Puri. See, Jagannath Puri is already here. It is said that they are about 6 to 7 miles away from Jagannath Puri. Then what Gauranga, Lord Chaitanya did was, he was very looking at Jagannath, the temple of Jagannath Puri. He becomes very ecstatic. He goes into the river, wanted to take a bath in the river. So he gives his danda, sannyas danda, to hold. He gives that to Nityanandaram to hold. He comes out of the river, he takes his bath, and he is lost in ecstasy, dancing and chanting up and down, and the Sankirtan party was going like that. So they walked a few miles. Then they came to this place. What is the Dandabhanga Leela? This place where Dandabhanga Leela happened. To that place they came. So after dancing and chanting, when they walked further to this place, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu remembered that he's not holding his sannyasa stick, and it is still with Nityanandaram. So he looks at Nityanandaram and he asks, okay, can you please give my sannyas danda? Where is the sannyas danda? It's not there anymore. What did Nityanandaram do? He broke that into 3 pieces and put it in the river. But what did he answer when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked for sannyas danda? He says, oh my dear Lord, you were ecstatically chanting and dancing, and behind you, I was doing the same. And when you fell onto the ground with your in your ecstasy, I also fell along with you as I held on to you. And underneath me was the danda which broke into 3 pieces, and that's why I threw it in the river. So very sorry. I do not have the danda for you. Please, please forgive me. Nityanandaram. Gauranga Mahaprabhu, he was apparently very upset, very angry. And he says, what does Gaurachandra do when he's upset and angry? We have heard that in the Lila. The same thing here. First thing he says is, I am very thankful to you all that because of you, I came till here, you brought me till here. But now I chose to walk by myself. Either you go in front, I will walk back, or you let me go ahead. But I just want to do this myself. Then Mukunda says, oh dear Lord, please, we walk further, walk ahead, and we will follow you, Mukunda says. And this is how Gauranga Mahaprabhu, without any apparent distraction or interruption from his associates, goes to Jagannath Puri, walking and dancing. And why did Nityananda Ram do this? Because Lord Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakura, he explains that in his Amrita Pravaha Bhashya. So Lord Chaitanya, he already set an example by taking sannyasa. For those who are serious, how sannyasa is the way to go, Krishna Prema Piksha. But danda, sannyas danda was not needed for Bhagavan. Sannyas danda is for those who has to be reminded that their manasa karma vacha, in their thought, in their word, and in their deed, they have to offer all these three things to Bhagavan. So to remind oneself that their thought, word, and deed, body, mind, and heart is offered to Bhagavan. That's why that sannyas danda is carried, to remind themselves that they're meant for that purpose. But Bhagavan doesn't need that reminder. He is Bhagavan himself, so he doesn't need danda. That's why Nityananda Ram broke it. Yeah, that's all, dear devotees. Thank you. So what did we hear about the pastimes? I'm just going to say we heard that elaboratively anyway. So we heard about the beautiful pastimes between the devotees and the deities, Bhaktas and Bhagavan. Sripada Madhavendra Puri with the Gopals, and Sripada Madhavendra Puri with Gopalju and the Jagannath. So when these pastimes happen between the Bhagavatas and Bhagavan, then that is the Kalyana for rest of the Jivas. Yeah, those are the pastimes we heard regarding Madhavendra Puri. And Sakshi Gopal, about this younger Brahmana and older Brahmana, and beautiful simplicity, purity of the young Brahmana with the deity, that the deity is obligated to talk, obligated to walk. So that's what we have heard. And then Danda Bhangana Lila. The Danda was broken because Bhagavan doesn't need to be reminded that he had to offer his word, heart, and body to Bhagavan. That's why Danda Bhangana Lila. That's all, dear devotees. Thank you all so much. Honoring all of your association. Nitai Gunmani Prabhu, Murari Chaitanya Prabhu, Shri Chaitanya Prabhu, Palika Padmakanda Mataji, Lalita Priya Mataji, Prana Pavitra Prabhu, Anabhaini Mataji, Divyambaradhara Mataji, Josla Mataji, Rasa Krida Mataji. Yes, please. Hemasundari Mataji was here. Yes, thank you all, dear devotees. Anything from anyone? If nothing, we can pause. Shri Pada Madhavendra Puri ki jai. Shri Nityananda Ram ki jai. Shri Gopal Ji ki jai. Shri Gopinath Ji ki jai. Jagannath Ji ki jai. And to you all. Okay. You're all like, when somebody is given an anesthesia, there's no response from them. I'll let you stay in the anesthesia then, dear devotees. If there is nothing from you, we'll pause. Palika Padmagandha Mataji.
Hare
Murari, you woke up from the anesthesia.
No, Mataji, it was nice. Pravaha Mataji, so nice pastimes, one after the other. So beautifully told, Mataji. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's my comment, Mataji. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for being together in honoring the pastimes. Murari Chaitanya Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hari Hari. Yes. Yes. All right, dear devotees. We'll pause here. We'll see you soon. Yeah. Honoring all of your association. Vancha kalpatarupyascha kripa sindhubheva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jaya. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ki jaya. Srila Prabhupada ki jaya. Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda ki jaya. Hare Krishna.